Opinions and stories around the game we love, told by your favorite storytellers. Stay up to date with all things cricket. Subscribe to Crickbuzz's YouTube channel and press that bell icon now.
Talking about the advantage of the toss, talking about the advantage of chasing, you're hoping basically that it's only the fact that it's a big game, so maybe there's a little bit of pressure chasing, but semi-final was a big game as well. Australia showed no pressure chasing in that one.
It's not a bad thing to bat first in the finals. You've seen the pressure of the scoreboard. You know what's at stake. A lot of teams actually prefer batting first in the finals and really overlook the conditions at times, unless it's like a really obvious bowl first or a bat first kind of a wicket. That keeping aside, but here we've seen on this venue that the bowl first so far has worked. The number are suggestive of that fact, but I think not for finals. You've seen that in the semi-finals as well. When Australia was playing Pakistan, they had to really bat out of their skins and get that partnership. How often you see that. So once you get to that level, not often you're going to have that kind of a partnership. The pressure did play a part when Australia was batting. So if New Zealand bat first and get to a total which is 170 plus, it's always in the game. So that is something which New Zealand should think. Not really worry about the toss. Yeah, from the spectators, the viewers, the fans, the New Zealand fans must be thinking right now that the first small little
all
bat
is lost. Cricket Bengals, all is lost. No, but it's
Sure.
not. No, it's not. DK, yeah, that's right. Keep the faith. The fact that it's the final, you're batting first. Try to get to some safety. Try to have a number in your mind. Usually in Dubai, 180 is kind of the safe total. The few matches that have been won by the team batting first, 180 seems to be kind of safe. But you can't think that before playing the first over, before gauging the conditions and the pitch, because that's recipe for suicide, isn't it?
Yes, absolutely. I think they can't look at 180 and 190 right now. All they need to do is just make sure they see the first spell of Hazelwood and Stark with good intent, make sure they play to the situation. And, New Zealand have a good batting. When I say good batting, they have batters in form. They don't have a long batting like other teams do. They have, a steady batting, so to say. Obviously, their key is Guptill, Mitchell, Williamson, and Neesham. The other two in between, the Seifert and Glenn Phillips. Seifert is coming back for a Conway. Glenn Phillips hasn't really fired this tournament. So the batting is light. Ideally, they would have wanted to win the toss, but they don't have it in the hand. I have a problem. I do think ICC need to look into this very, very seriously. I don't think I can't remember any other sport where something that is luck-based plays such a big role before any game starts. They need to really look into it. They need to equalize conditions as to how it can be done. Whether if you go by this tournament in Dubai, out of the 12 matches that's been played, the team batting first has just won once, and that also against two not very balanced teams, New Zealand versus Scotland. That's the only game that has gone in the batting team first, and I don't seem to like that. You can see stats. Obviously, it's all stacked up towards the team that is batting second, but like Zach says, it is a final. We have, they just rewind a month back, CSK beat KKR. They lost the toss, they batted first, but they did everything to template. They started steady, but then they pushed through the middle, played the spinners well, and then they gave it a real tonk at the end and managed to get 190 plus, if I'm right, 195. Yeah. If you get to that kind of total, obviously, then that's a great thing. But for that, you need to bat out of your skin.
Yeah. You remember the Chennai score. Were you there? Hey! Zach, but what DK is saying, I mean, his grouse against the toss, I mean, we see the numbers, right? My reaction right up front, right in the beginning, I mean, as much as was kind of lighthearted, but it's kind of backed up with stats, isn't it? The fact that this toss has an undue advantage. You can understand if it's a 5% advantage or, some kind of single digit, but empirical evidence is telling you that it's just glaring. It's just too much of an advantage.
But in bilateral series, you can have a solution around that, where you can even it out, because the same team playing against each other for numerous occasions in that series. But in a tournament format, JK, I feel that that still has that element of luck is okay to have, because you're playing one team once. So how are you going to decide who's going to bat first and who's going to bat second, or who's going to decide that? So I think, maybe you can debate around it, and find ways of what can be done. Maybe if some teams have secured certain number of points, or if they're playing well in the tournament, do they get an opportunity to decide what they should be doing in the finals? But you are in a way giving that advantage to the team who's been doing well. So you are in a way saying that, okay, this team deserves to win this particular tournament, and that's why you are giving that advantage to that team. So because it's luck based, you in a way, in a tournament scenario, it's fine. In a bilateral series, you can always have that, because you've seen teams also tailor-made wickets to their advantage. So you can negate that, but I don't know how to do it in a tournament format.